sure to salo ozia ofifi emekal chalum na join no broadcaster wo. Make sure you share this video, click on like and love. Understand the fact that for that work mmadụ kwuo okwu mana how long can we continue to thrive in falsehood, lies? It pains me more when it comes from the pulpit. Share this video. You are going to pick or picture one or two from this broadcast century. Yes, I understand the fact that now etestigo Evangelist Ebuka Obi, etestigo loyalty Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Share this video because I want as many people as possible to hear me. Share this video. Click on like and love. Share this video. Yeah, try to share this video. I want a lot of people not to miss out. I don't want somebody to come in halfway. Of course, I know many people will come in halfway, but can I do too much? Be do watch this broadcast from the beginning. We want to go in with one or two things in the na broadcast and bania. Happen then I choke a surprise, can suppress your voice of reason. They just want only one voice to be heard, which is lies. Well, it cannot happen now. Unless none God has changed from being God. Share this video. Don't forget that many of them, try to tamper with our broadcast. But if you share this program massively, then and you click on like and love massively, then we can run this program on Wi-Fi. Share go this video. Let me know how many people share go this video. Not working again, so but I couldn't do the MTN. Share the hair. That's impressive number. That's impressive number. So you see, so a test to go loyalty Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Can case we test loyalty Evangelist Ebuka Obi? Ebu's obido by ile false accusations on him. Afuno okuhoku. Apotakwa another day. Ozie yafa. Nye command. Say, and they don't ever reply these things or else. Afuna no reply hifeku. Ewesi okay. Now that we have confirmed that his loyalty is intact, we can now come up with a bigger one. It was a well-orchestrated plan. We can now come up with a bigger one because we know that they were so certain that he will never reply or respond to them because they know how much he respects them, because they know how much he respects priests, because they know that his call is tied to Catholic faith, and as such, they know the level of loyalty and they know that he cannot respond. But guess what? Guess what? Even though he cannot respond, there are people, when all these things were happening, there were people, for God's sake, it did not happen in the moon. So you cannot just come out and lie. There are people this side and there are people this side. And that is why the witness I am going to call this night will be Father Camillus, popularly known as Fadotimbodombo Jesus, currently in Owerri Diocese, and possibly elder brother onye amụma dị ike ma na-ewu ewu n'Enugu, the Elijah of our time, who is acting obviously as either PA. Yes. Because na mgbe atụrụ ga mgbe izi this okwu asịrị no people na-eshia as his own part of the story, and then was mentioned to seal it up. Father Camillus is here. I told you to call him. Immediately you called him, he answered. When I came back from monastery, he refused to come and see me. He didn't come and see me. And I tried to call him many times. He did not pick up. Then I told Father Camillus here. Father Camillus here is still alive. I told Father Camillus here to call him. And immediately Father Camillus called him, he picked up. Now, let me start by telling you that you remember after the Peter Obi saga na adoration Enugu, when Mbaka iji egbe na mma wee nata Peter Obi ego, ewefu na Peter Obi a man of principle. When he says something, he stand by what he said. He said, I cannot call money openly here. You will hear from me. Ebute mma, bute mpota ndaya nke igbe, megido ife ka squeeze something out from his mouth. He did not say anything. Of course, that was a very disgraceful act for Nyona Sholo a condemn here. That was a very disgraceful act. Analia Mike. The action was to the extreme that Peter Obi, being a devoted Catholic, somebody who's so supportive to the Catholic faith, being humiliated in such a way and manner. Of course, it raised a concern that the Bishop of Enugu Diocese had to send him on an emergency leave to the monastery. Yes. And throughout all those period, Evangelist Ebuka Obi was all out. He was all out, speaking and shouting on top of his voices, fighting for him, calling on the bishop, allow him to come and take his position. There are flocks under him. There are people who are feeding through him. There are workers to be paid. There are poor people who are depending on him. Taking him away is going to cause pain to a lot of families and people. There are people who are eagerly waiting to be saved or either in any way and manner. Taking him away will not solve any problem. It is going to rather compound the problem. Evangelist Ebuka Obi was all over. If you need those videos, I will begin to release those videos so that you will see those videos then that Evangelist Ebuka Obi was screaming on top of his voices, calling on the bishop direct to allow his supposed spiritual father to come back and face the assignment that God has given to him. Obviously, due to too much calling on him and the little actions from here and there people, that was obviously why his stay in monastery was cut short and he had to come back. Now, I want to ask you a question, because he came back from the monastery and he started calling Evangelist Ebuka Obi, and Evangelist Ebuka Obi did not pick. Don't forget that because of the way and manner that Evangelist Ebuka Obi came out for this same matter, it sent another signal to the bishop. He ought to go. He sent another signal to the bishop. Obviously, this may be another stumbling block we are seeing now. This man. So it was a very bad impression completely. Evangelist Ebuka Obi bishop will automatically maybe Evangelist Ebuka Obi no. And you don't need to tell me for me to tell you that obviously he has entered the black book of the bishop. Black book of the bishop. And he, of course, needs to be taught some lesson. But let us come back, because I needed you to understand, to do a routine and a background check on what I'm about to say this night. Now, how can you honestly think that a man that was all over social media on almost every day of a program calling on the bishop to allow his supposed spiritual father to come back and continue his assignment? How can you join the missing link together that he will finally return from monastery and call on this supposed son, and he will not answer his call, and the said supposed son, after raising and creating so much awareness, demonstrating on his behalf while he was away, we refuse to go and see him? One question. Of course, I will give you the answer to that. But, of course, he need the radio smart at this broadcast name. Now, he told Father Camillus to call Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Eventually, Father Camillus called Evangelist Ebuka Obi, and Evangelist Ebuka Obi picked up his call. Is that how open line Evangelist Ebuka Obi do? How many of you Zionites na play direct in a phone? It's a question I want to ask you. Who is Father Camillus in all this exercise? Yes, there are so many Reverend Fathers in Enugu Diocese. Why does it have to be a father from Owerri Diocese that we call Evangelist Ebuka Obi immediately, and Evangelist Ebuka Obi will pick it up? Who is Father Camillus Otimbodombo Jesus to Evangelist Ebuka Obi? Do they have prior relationship, knowing fully well how close Father Camillus is to Father Mbaka? A previous communication and discussions between Father Camillus and Evangelist Ebuka Obi? If yes, what was the content of that discussion? What was the content of that discussion? When I made a video in the morning, I said, Father, Apoga Faro as a witness. It is God's doing. And indeed, it is marvelous in our eyes. Remember that I told you, it was a well-orchestrated plan to first of all upset him by levying allegations on him, to know if he will come all out to speak. They knew he did not say anything. They knew he did not say anything. They came back again and they mentioned his name now with a threat, commanding him not to speak. And they still found out that indeed he did not say anything. They now say, good, I think this is the best time for us to come out now and unleash something permanently now, so that people can now dive on this. I called it emotional blackmail, because at the end of all those things, a crown wear with Ebuka, I love you. I'm the Zionite. I love you people. 90% of adorers are also Zionite. That was emotional blackmail. I called it emotional blackmail because he said everything he needed to say, including reminding us again about the so-called miracles, talking about 100 million on Acacia. He said everything. He said everything he needed to say. Then at the end of the day, just to make him to be the good one, presenting Evangelist Ebuka Obi to be the ungrateful one, in a way that he is showing ingratitude, then making himself now to be a good one by saying that I love you, making him to look like he has extended the hand of love to him, but he turned him down. Onye ka nji sị na ịghọta egwu agbalụ n'ikpeazụ a, egwu agbalụ n'ikpeazụ a dị more dangerous than egwu ndị ọzọ agbagoro mbụ. And that one egwu a, believing that Evangelist Ebuka Obi will not respond. But I'm saying it. Of course, he will not respond, or he may not respond to you. But there are people like us. And don't forget that there are people around when all these things were happening, even if daddy refused to talk. Only family, only friends, only colleagues who are also around when all these things were happening. They will speak, of course, because this is what they have information. They have information of this. And everything in here. If you think I am lying, a lot of conversations are surfaced online. If you think I am lying, a lot of conversations have surfaced online. People can as well dig it out. It doesn't. It takes a process to get a telephone conversation. That is why Inji say now for the Camillus because now he may choose to support his fellow priest. The father, brother, may choose to support his brother. But don't forget that there is always a way, either a conversation can be go. And even if it doesn't get to that level, your posterity will always be there to either judge you right or judge you wrong. It was an act of God that he thought that Evangelist Ebuka Obi will eventually not talk, and he came out to even mention the name of Father Camillus in these orchestrated lies. Who is Father Camillus in all this exercise? Why him from Owerri diocese? What is the link between Father Camillus and Evangelist Ebuka Obi, between Father Camillus and Father Mbaka, that Father Camillus called Evangelist Ebuka Obi and Evangelist Ebuka Obi picked up immediately? Have they been communicating before? If they have been communicating before, what was the content of that discussion? What was the subject of that discussion? It is a question. Now, how come that eventually, when Father Camillus called Evangelist Ebuka Obi and Evangelist Ebuka Obi picked up, it has to be a call to give a specific instruction, which is going to go and remove all my photos. Why? Now, the reason each way your instruction KJ remove all your photos, because you actually said this yourself. And since you have admitted to have called somebody gona ya hesoku onwere ife na-esere gona unenwere any grudges against each other, then it had to take you. You can't even send the test. Even if you are calling and it's not going through, you can send the test. It had to take you to pass a message through somebody to say, go and remove my photos and in these so places and desist from doing so thing with my name. Now, what was the reason for giving that instruction? Could it be to please the bishop? Could it be because of the visit of a man you humiliated right before every other person? Could it be? Now, could the reason you see who put that pictures? Let us assume that you are trying to please the bishop. Let us agree that it was an instruction from the bishop. Of course, I have already established a connection on why Evangelist Ebuka Obi Yejin honor the black book of the bishop. Now, I want you people to be getting the missing link here after Kaishikozie. You want to go? Kaishikozie, because when a mobile, it will make sense to you. Could the reason why Ejiwenye instruction simple wrote down these pictures and desist from mentioning his name? By the way, if a man in the caliber of Evangelist Ebuka Obi finds you worthy to use your picture as either a spiritual father, I think you should consider that an honor. Because a lot of people that some big men of God do mentor, some people who mentor even in business field, yeah, Some people, many mentors in this ministry are proud enough to mention the names of those people who mentored them. Yes, some people the mentor in business field are proud to mention the names of those people who mentor her in business field. Not to talk of a man who grew to a certain level, still being humble enough to put your picture somewhere, giving you maximum respect in humility. I'm adopting man as a father. Because we all know Evangelist Ebuka Obi's spiritual father, the man who saw that gift and the man who nurtured him in his young age until he started manifesting. So let's assume that the man is no more and he now decides to adopt you as his spiritual father. Proud enough to showcase your photos everywhere. Proud enough to call your name and give you credit and respect, not minding how big he was then. You should consider that as an honor and not twisting whatever thing. So now, could the reason why that instruction was given to Father Camillus, who knows more than you, than me and you here now, because I've given you a background, to pull down those pictures, desist from mentioning your names? Could that reason also be the reasons why you were not picking up your calls? You refused to pick up your calls. Could that reason also be the reason why Evangelist Ebuka Obi was stopped from coming to welcome you? Yes, he was stopped from coming to welcome you in a way and manner. Obviously, he has prepared to come in a grand style to come and welcome his supposed spiritual father from the airport. Could that be the reason also? I'm asking a question. Could that also be the reason why he wasn't also not welcomed to come to Enugu to come and see you? Because you were avoiding or you were doing a bidding of a man somewhere in Enugu, and obviously getting angry over an action that was completely misunderstood. It was completely misunderstood. Could that be? Could that be? Now, how did Father Camillus get the number of Evangelist Ebuka Obi to the point that the moment he called him, he picked up his phone immediately? Was it you who gave it to him? Because you said, I told Father Camillus to call him. You did not say, I gave him his number and said, call him. You said, I told Father Camillus to call him. Meaning that Father Camillus already have that number. How did he get that number? What is the connection of you being his supposed spiritual father and Father Camillus all the way from Owerri diocese having the same number? I'm just curious, asking. What is it clearly showed is that obviously calling you, because I've already raised it. So I said, could the reason why instruction was given to remove those photos, could those reasons be the reasons why you were refusing to pick up a call? You were avoiding a call. Now, could Father Camillus, having the number of Evangelist Ebuka Obi now, be as a result of Evangelist Ebuka Obi reaching out to him because he knows that he is very close to you? Could that be as a reason because Evangelist Ebuka Obi obviously maybe reached out to him to convey a message to you, passed a message through him, or obviously maybe try to find out if he have knowledge of anything that is happening? I'm asking questions. Father Camillus can be free to come out and answer these questions. But like I said, you may choose to please your fellow priest, but posterity is always there. And if there is even any need to prove it further, there are people who can release the evidence. My call record with you, of course, is with the network provider. And with special arrangement, devil can see God. So, one conversation with you that I can ever deny, except naturally dig up that conversation. Propaganda can only thrive for a while, but truth is always truth. And no matter what you do, look, akade ye ushimwezioku ogoye senite luo o senite. It may not be that time, it may not be today, but definitely truth will always come out. So the question now lies on Father Camillus and your brother, because you also mentioned your brother. You also mentioned your brother. So does it mean that your brother is also aware of a move that was made to reach out to you after you obviously refused to communicate again? And what was even the reason for refusing now to have a communication with somebody who was all over social media advocating for the bishop to allow you to come back, to come and continue what you are doing? Like I said, the videos were all over Facebook. Does it mean that you were under instruction from the bishop to disassociate, disengage, or to do all that? I ask this question because I'm beginning to ask and get worried, curious also. When Evangelist Ebuka Obi came to crusade in Enugu, you said that you heard that he was coming and you were patiently waiting for him to come and see you. One, you said that he did not call you because you were waiting for him to call you. You were waiting for him to call you, but when he did not call you, you were also waiting that he will come and see you. Then later, you also crowned it all by also saying that you later found out that the bishop had no aware of his coming. So therefore, no can commit you into making a great mistake that now is no conspiracy. You got a different. So you still drag the bishop into it to also either confirm one or two from the observation that I have raised earlier on. I said, could it be that no bishop kule egwu na agba, and all no bishop kule egwu na agba, egwu ahụ change go kita. Instruction enyelu o change go that when he calls you now, you can now pick up your call against whatever thing grudges exist go before. Then number two, what difference has it now make that obviously he was restricted from coming to see you when you came back from the monastery? What has changed that he will now, or he is now free to come and see you now? I'm curiously asking. I am asking, since it has now become a tradition that the Evangelist Ebuka Obi abiarere funde obodo. He will come and see you. He must come and see the bishop. He must come and see the governor. By the way, Evangelist Ebuka Obi Jericho said na Abuja, he never went there to see the bishop on Eba and the crusade held then. He never went to see the FCT minister and crusade hold. He never went to see whichever spiritual father no Negu na Abuja, and they made the crusade without even any disturbance at all. Evangelist Ebuka Obi Jelu Ngobala. We did not see him able to any bishop ever. We did not see him. Did not go to see any bishop. So I don't know why it is now very, very, very important. Important now that in Obata Enugu, that you must come and see the bishop before obey any program. Enugu. Or he must first come and see you. What has changed? If Odana ebe mmadu goserero waka, onye goserero waka ashumi goga ashumie, onye goserero waka achugo woso chumie ya chumie. So guna ekwensu na-eri nni now, ihe eji ogologo ngazi wee na-eri nni, because now that trust is no more there again. You want to go? Or how can you wait to me? Now, before I even connect the whole dots now on my own, I'm going to connect the whole dots on my own. Then, this is a man. You have come out to level all manner of allegation. You have also issued threat. So, with all the threat he issued to this young man, were you honestly, let us be honest enough, let us be honest, were you expecting him to come to you, Mbobere Enugu, ki we pinyo kwa, egbad ikulu threaten on ne ya pinyo? Were you expecting him to come to Enugu? Kiwe penyo okwa ikulu ne ya penyo. Was that what you were waiting for? Was that what you were waiting for? You have issued a threat. You have said the name the he has threatened, or he has issued all manner of threat. Now, you are now expecting him to come to Enugu to come and see you. I will call. That's why I said that this is emotional blackmail. You instructed Aquarafa Kahapado 2 trailer load of Aquarafa water. What changed? What changed? Ko Jehofu Bishop n'ikekwu na igwopụgo onwe n'ebe ọ na oje odogodo alụsị nọ na-abịa. Kelu crime ndị bịalụ crusade a committed, since you already know that na ndị na-eje adoration ụkwa ha ndị Zionites. You already said that na 90% of adorers were Zionites. You already say that almost your members were Jukwalo na that field. Why did you deny you blew 2 truck load of Aquarafa Bujelu your children gahango? These are the people you love. You love them unconditionally. Why did you withdraw order? You blew the same mini Padogoluha. Bujenfa. Even you were aware that this is the greatest emotional blackmail of all time. And if somebody like me keep quiet, somebody like me cannot keep quiet and watch this injustice or thrive. Or thrive. You instructed them Kebulu 2 trailer load of Aquarafa water, Bujelufa. Mgbe Kerife Mesiri Niji was 2 trailer load that were support of her. When you already know this wewu na 90% of Omo Wahajeleba Kerife change. Kerife change ị na-eche onye ikwuru na ya penye ọkụ ya ka ọ bịa fo, and you were honestly waiting for him to come and see you. So now ndị nụrụ ka ekwuru na na-akpọ Evangelist Ebuka Obi opikiho ewe gwa Fada Camillus nya akpọ ya opikie juzie n'onwe unu. Onye nọ na-amagharị ebe niile na-eti mkpu ka m mechie dọ ka esi m wee jụọ oyi ọfụma. Denu almost na ma achọkwana ibugharị program a because of ọkụ. Chineke onye usu niile nke ndị agha wee instruct ndị NEPA wee sị ha bụrụ na ọsọ wetara this young guy ọkụ ka o wee mee program na onwe ife na-eme unu n'isi. Ha wee weta dị ọkụ ozugbo. So now nna akpọ Fada Camillus otimbodo ịma na mgbe akpọrọ ya ịkpọ Fada Camillus na ọdụ ka onye pụta ebe ka mmalụ ga-atọ onye pụta ebe odumeje nọ kama ọ ya asịghị mgbe odumeje nyakpọ ya ọsịghị ngwa Chukwuemeka ịghọtara ya ife a na ọdụ ka ịpụta ebe mmadụ ya asị mgbe odumeje nyakpọ ya onye ahụ asị ngwa Chukwuemeka. How will you know na Chukwuemeka ahụ the popular odumeje? How will you know that Chukwuemeka ahụ the popular odumeje? Ọ ịpụta ebe ihe asị iji ụwa nọkata omebe program iji ụwa asị unu chọọ jenu jụọ Chukwu na onye na-akpọrọ Chukwu na onye gbe. How on earth will you know that that same Chukwu na onye a na-akpọ owu Ezugbo? So na the said Father Camillus who that Otimbodombo Jesus ema. So I have just called him. Let those who cares to listen call him to tell them actually what transpired between Evangelist Ebuka Obi and the Father Mbaka. Yes, I've told you, you may not expect Daddy to come and reply to you, but there were people who were strategically around when all these things. By the way, let me even tell you people, there was a time that Simon Eba played a voice note of Evangelist Ebuka Obi online and said something. Does it even occur to you that now that voice note they played with a conversation between Evangelist Ebuka Obi and somebody? They carefully edited the voice of the other person, but they made one mistake. There was a place they made mistake, and the actual voice showed a little. They edited it, but the editing did not do a good job. Now, how can a conversation, somebody who is supposedly your spiritual father, leak to estrange people? And what could be their intentions of editing the other part of the voice of Onya, leaving the voice of the other person? That may also be an impression, because when this thing happened, the going was still good. That may also be a plot to tell you that before I went. But let me leave that one for another day. So Father Camillus should come out to tell people it wasn't Father Mbaka who gave you the number of Evangelist Ebuka Obi. It wasn't Father Mbaka who gave you the number of Evangelist Ebuka Obi. And when Father Mbaka came back from monastery, the monastery, there was a repeated attempt to get to him. You resist and you refused. Efforts were made to reach you through somebody. Who is still very much alive. You called him as a witness in a wrong way. So could he bravely come out and tell people conversation do between Yana Evangelist Ebuka Obi that eventually made him to have this line? How many times did they hold that conversation? What was the conversation all about? That is what I'm asking. Were you privy to this information? Were you? If you were not, why were you so comfortable that when Father Camillus calls him, that he's going to pick up the call? Why did you give Father Camillus instruction to call him and give him that order? How were you so comfortable and sure that he will pick up the moment Father Camillus calls him? I'm asking a question. And when he picked up that call, it came with an instruction. Go and do this, do this, do this. And you couldn't pass that message yourself. You couldn't pass that message yourself. You have to pass that message through somebody. California na bago. Evangelist Ebuka Obi na bago. What even resulted to Evangelist Ebuka Obi? Obviously, reaching out to him. We are asking. We are asking. Like I said, you are so sure that he will not respond to you. But and many other people around him who loves him, who were very much active with him, because on agadi ikuku on abana more man on because ana afuyanya. Yes, ana afuyanya no naga man on more possess man ana afuyanya no naga. So if I hear with so many people that na meshironu since does not mean, but instead of coming to put up all this emotional blackmail, I called him, but he wasn't picking up my call. He refused to pick up my call. I now have to tell Father Camillus to call him. And if I were a man, no, April, no, let now, no, the videos are all there. I will begin to release those videos. He will bam. Konye neme odefa. Si we suddenly. Jukwazero epiki kolo. Why? What is the connection? That somebody do proud enough to put your pictures, enlargement pictures of Gone, Tiga see many places. Somebody do proud enough to do that. Somebody do proud enough to speak for you, even when so many priests refuse to talk. Or Catholic priests will speak it out. For Father Mbaka, Mbwezi Jerry Monasel. Or priest will never. Father Webejo, you will. But you thanked him and you appreciated him for fighting Evangelist Ebuka Obi. You thanked him for doing a good job. Bazienya hapuzie pota. No ne makesi apenyoku nda. Onye chọrọ epenyoku ye ka ị nọ na-eche n'Enugu ka ọ bịa fụ ka o buruzie onwe ebutere ka epenyizo n'ọkụ finally. If even you say no emotional blackmail, it was the game was the last game. You see? In Oziene onye nwana igosi golu aka ebe iji mma gosi ya ebe iji egbe gbe need way na ihe amụma na egbe igwe ọ bịazie Enugu ọgbalụ bịafụ mgbe ị na-ekwukwa ife ahụ you were also dropping some ogbunigwe here and there dropping some ogbunigwe here and there dropping some ogbunigwe here and there ịnọkwa ebe ahụ patronize wakwa Matthias again. How did he patronize Matthias? Hear it. I'm going to say here, careful, because I know ekwu I know eme gente kenu njosu we patronize Matthias gente kenu gente why is not this in a voice? Gente.
Of course, you know I.
Gente, because if I don't give me video that soon, na o kwuru say na ifa ka o ji eme ife Matthias na ada ekwuwe oge ụfọdụ na ụfọdụ ife ọ na-ekwu na awụ eziokwu. Number 1. Number 2, na number 1 ebe a na number 1 ebe a gente ka enwe gente.
Of course, you know I don't believe only in spiritual healing.
Oh, they value the one why the 5G you do on a phone or
I take you to the hospital.
Gente, if you guys were patronizing Matthias Maka, Evangelist Ebuka Obi.
Of course, you know I don't believe only in spiritual healing. I take you to the hospital. I'm not one of those who believe God must heal you, even when you are dying.
You see?
Somebody is in labor and the child is not well positioned.
You see?
Instead of taking you to the hospital for proper surgical CS procedure, bring out the child. You
see?
My job is to see that we deliver like the women of Hebrew. Does that mean that the mother is alive and the baby is
alive? Can only to see fire because now the man Evangelist Ebuka Obi and a miracle, and the man Evangelist Ebuka Obi is the reason Apollo. Weapon swap stand the password you every day attack miracles. So many of them now turn see their message against the same miracle. That is why, just to make sure that people have rosy, no rosy power or the gift to do any miracle again, or say, of course, you know I don't believe in miracle only. Sort of no Seraphic Hospital wo kwaro se ko ebe awo all to ebe the Virgin Mary na Virgin Mary, olive oil and holy water. You see, he sees that opportunity to humiliate Evangelist Ebuka Obi the more, while trying to profess fake love so that he can hoodwink people into misunderstanding intentions. Ojuwe le oku no bomu mmiri otoro na that video, because if otoro na video awu oburigwe. That is why the moment okuchari ozugbo nwikuku ha manye nda agha ye no na ifa mani si ozugbo they ba na ha papa enyi. And the way why they were doing that, they also knew that Evangelist Ebuka Obi may not respond, so they were not even bothered about his own side of the story. That was the reason why they all came out, sharing the video Father Mbaka has said the reason why he has problem with Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Father Mbaka has said. And I challenge Father Camillus to come out. It will be against you and your conscience because you know the truth. You know the truth. You know that was a fat lie being said at the altar of God just to spite another man who is somewhere. What has Evangelist Ebuka Obi coming to see the bishop got to do with crusade Enugu? Yeah? What has it got to do with crusade Enugu? He made it clear that his ministry is a non-denominational one. Is it the first time you are hearing it? That Zion ministry is a non-denominational ministry. So tell me, him coming to see the bishop or not, what does it have to do with the crusade of Yami? What has it got to do with that? Him not coming to see you because he said Ebuka made a mistake. You wanted to humiliate him the more. So that obviously I consider only you take about some servitors. Or maybe you can feel the glory. He will wonder that if not you, that he couldn't have done it. But he came in, he did it. Yeah, him not minding the resistance that was put in place. The God that has been doing it before made him to conquer. He did his thing and he left. Apataze baby ame lofo kabia hoodwink and actually hoodwink. You were calling Evangelist Ebuka Obi when you came back from monastery. What was the reason why you instructed that those pictures should be removed? I'm asking. What was the reason why you instructed is a master? Why don't you use this energy to fight the Zako? Confront the Zako, water of the way, confront Goliath. Yes, you people should not forget that it was because of Igbo channels. Even I'm not need the discussion though. One to each discussion. I need the part to each. Igbo channels TV. Come on, you wanna go? Don't forget that it was because of this same Father Mbaka that Matthias and the Evangelist Ebuka Obi were follow out. Because those days that Matthias was always calling Evangelist Ebuka Obi, in fact, Matthias actually was only calling out Father Mbaka with full force then, not until Evangelist Ebuka Obi came up. Yes, we caution Matthias against calling the name of his father anyhow. Desist. Matthias will say to our Ebuka, this is satellite. We see, so then the very ringundo. It never all right. Now, let me shock Zion. Let me shock Zion. Zion not here. Let me shock Zion. And let me shock all of you. During that time, honor Apale Father Mbaka. Honor body Father Mbaka. Evangelist Ebuka Obi we intervene. We turn satellite to Evangelist Ebuka Obi now. The same Matthias on a hash go squeeze in ni message. He was the reason why Matthias and Father Mbaka and the Evangelist Ebuka Obi fall out. You all we are here. Were you people not here when this one happened? Now, when he constantly was disrespecting and insulting Evangelist Ebuka Obi anyhow, that was when Akozion intervened. Now, why Akozion intervened? Oh, but someone Akozion name with discussion. Where were Akozion? Now, and then now this man who got in that Mbaka anyhow. Akozion webam no one mention no Mbaka by name again. Before you may times 2 if you marry and give and they say Gobi. This is the same person. Akozion wasn't mbonye spiritual father and upon my father. Only spiritual father and upon my father. Someone will go do daddy. If daddy would to him, or we will only daddy na my father. Yes. Osi ne wa to nyam mention kwa Father Mbaka by name again. No, he may times 2 if we marry. Na Evangelist Ebuka Obi on akwafa or everything apata da ni we ko we wona na ekugo no. You got to go. When you pull the first far, you pulled it, you continue pulling it, you continue pulling it, you continue pulling it until the center could not hold. You now came back to come and do emotional blackmail so that you can evangelism. There is a limit to how you can push a man. Yes. That is why Inji said, if you are so relaxed and comfortable that you will not come out, there are people who can come out. Yes. Whatever thing that transpired did not happen in the moon. You want to go? Everybody let him go and apologize. Let him go and apologize. Apologize for what? Now, Evangelist Ebuka Obi onare abie nugu bia na nkenyu okusi ni marenji. Okuburu papa the same marenji we bia pay homage to you nenugu. And I wonder why you continue making a reference of father son, father son, father son. And I said, a man that has disowned his son, because the moment you told this person to stop mentioning your name, the moment remove all my photos from anything that had to do with you, stop mentioning my name. That was the day you disowned him as a son. That was the day, without any provocation. Without any provocation. It wasn't because of video. But you even came to start to tell us, Evangelist Ebuka Obi, Juwewolo, one of the coordinators. I challenge anybody that will prove me wrong that there was ever any time Evangelist Ebuka Obi a coordinator on adoration. I challenge any adorer to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by showing me a proof that showed that there was ever a time Evangelist Ebuka Obi was an active member of adoration ministry. I challenge you. Tell me the time. Tell me when Evangelist Ebuka Obi have ever been a coordinator. Tell me. He came and Sunday coordinator. a Sunday coordinator so. When was the first time Evangelist Ebuka Obi and the Father Mbaka had a physical contact? It was in 2017. It was in 2017. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. 9 years after Ebido Zion ministry, Evangelist Ebuka Obi, Okawu coordinator mgbe ahụ. Okawu coordinator mgbe ahụ. Even 9 years after Obidogoro ịrụ ọnụ ministry nke Okawu your coordinator then. Why running Zion ministry? He's still a coordinator in your own adoration ground. Eh? Let somebody anywhere prove to me that there was ever a time Evangelist Ebuka Obi a coordinator na adoration Lagos. Tell me. Or when was he ever an active member of adoration ministry? Tell me. Or we form then on that same day, asal mmadụ niile ọkpa. CJ wotala I video ebe agbara mmadụ niile, you are spiritually qualified. CJ wota video ebe agbara ndị ọzọ niile, Ebuka, we thank God for what you are to us. CJ wota video ebe agbara ndị ọzọ niile asala ọkpa. Ebuka, thank God for what you are to us. And what could be the reason for constantly telling him, be strong, do not fear? What could be the reason? Evangelist Engineer Shooks is a Lagos branch. Be bold enough to tell me that from so year to so year, that Evangelist Ebuka Obi was ever a coordinator in Zion. I mean, in adoration. He said me, yes, Lagos branch. Because now that you know, I don't know who coordinator in Lagos branch. I challenge you in a year. Now, but say, give me a proof. Tell me an event where he was giving a situational report. He was ever collecting, maybe offering and handing over or whatever thing. He has ever attended a coordinator meeting with any coordinator of adoration anywhere. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You cannot prove me wrong because you know all those things were lies when they speculate all along. If anything, Evangelist Ebuka Obi adopted him as a father. He adopted him as a father. Not because his ministry was not successful. He went to Enugu in 2017 with his entourage as the spiritual director of Zion Ministry, not Lagos. At that level, the man will do so proud to put your pictures everywhere. It now became an advantage. It now became an advantage. Yeah? Kirife prompt to put those pictures. Was it instruction from the bishop? Was it because somebody you humiliated so much came to Zion? Yeah? Came to Zion. Was it because of that? Center could no longer hold. If in a video, only nature go realize, yeah, that the approach you used on that guy on that man, let me not use God because that the approach you use on that innocent man, the wrong. What you should do is restitution, not emotional blackmail. Ebuka, I love you. We have seen the love. The love is so wonderful. The love is so wonderful. Yes, I mean that kind of love is so wonderful. A love you can show a man by coming out that social media to come and say that no, the man arrange. Enorukuo onwere mgbe mkwuru no na-eme arrange nọrụkwa ebe ahụ ị na-ekwu na onwere mgbe ikwuru no na-eme arrange ọfa bụkwa na-emekwa dise ma arrange kwuo na-elezi prophecy ka black market kwuo na abuse go miracle ebe ahụ ka na-ekwukwo na onwe okwu mgbe ikwuru no na-eme arrange. Ọnụ halụ mmiri oge ọnụ na-ajụkọrọ onye halụ mmiri ya na-ezo ife onye ọ na-achọrọ si mechie ọnụ ka ebere ya Evangelist Ebuka Obi gbodogbo ndị mmadụ ekwu n'okwu ọnụ fụrụ onye na-achọ ikwu okwu ọdụrụ kwụsị sọpres onye ahụ so that asị unu nọ all along. Agwago m ndị na-ekwu na nọ maka Fada Evangelist Ebuka Obi ka eji wee kwụsị Fada Mbaka ebiara ọnụ program na Lagos. I gave you fact. Come and contest it with fact. Come and contest it with fact. Yeah? Na mo say no Bishop Okojie. No Bishop Okojie. Wonya ba no Fada Mbaka. Ebia my program na Lagos. Yes. No nya ba no re ebia my program na Lagos. That the bishop that had problem with Evangelist Ebuka Obi then was Bishop Adewale Martins. I said it clearly. So these are facts subject for verification. You go and verify, then you come back and talk again. And I said, now the reason Battle Bishop Okoji is because of charismatic conference that he was a guest speaker to. He came to Lagos for that for that event. That was the last time Obi at Lagos. And he was the last speaker that spoke at that particular program. Disturbable. The harvest church in the next day. And the bishop gave out that order. You are telling me not because none are fighting for Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Yeah? None are fighting for Evangelist Ebuka Obi. That was why a dollar dosa a man that loves you unconditionally, a man that loves you so much, a man no fuchalonanya for all the zolonana. I can tell you that Evangelist Ebuka Obi love. I don't think you can ever find anybody love you genuinely. Carry that man in a shock no. I have said it before. What do you think Evangelist Ebuka Obi will lose if you decide to fight you word to word, even action to action? No nation. What can you do to him? Nothing. There's nothing you can do to him. There is no place your leg can carry you to that his leg cannot carry him to. Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. I said it. He can decide to mount his order and respond to you If Matthias can respond to you and call you names, and you have not done anything to Matthias, if a small he had the light of Africa of yesterday, ntekele nwa kama arụ ahụ n'afọ kwụsịrị ili mmata nkụma nke nya can come on Facebook and proudly insult you and call you names, and he is still alive, walking about free, and nothing has happened to him. You are now believing that Ngangano and Ntentenyi took Evangelist Ebuka Obi can respond to you and call you names, and heaven will begin to fall. Respect, loyalty, respect and loyalty, love, ifunanya. That is the only thing. Even all the Catholic priests, ifunanya to all of them. It's just that now nkeru kalele yakale, nkeru dundende, and you know it. Chimozo, if you buhodi ife, cause wume una problem na cause problem. If you chọrọ ka emechi ọnụ ka ọ gaghị na-atụ ụga ka oge na-fly na they cause the problem. That iwu were Mike oligolo elu pulpit na-ekwusịsị ka broken record nọrọzie ebe a kwuo okwu esemi una be the problem. Muje force ekwuo nke okwuru nwanne nya, muje force ekwuo nke okwuru the other time, muje force enya kwuo ife niile okwugoro na they cause the problem. Which problem can I cause? Which problem can I cause? Can I do? Or move them for the Mbaka script if any don't have a Puma Evangelist Ebuka Obi, or you will want cause. Or move them the adorers near Nabia insult here, or move them line of insult Hanabia insult here. Omudelu heye. Oh. Ndunsi akose o because nana bie dibon kwase ono na asigide. Because no na emo no sigide yase. Ona cho ka agara inwe anybody ya bia. Who anything about asiaho osigidoriye, then eventually somebody abia kuoye. Abi. That is the only way. Also we will na cause the problem. One day, and I have even come to understand that Evangelist Ebuka Obi even also not responding to him, but even that is even beyond what eyes can see. I am seeing spiritual instruction. I am seeing an instruction he cannot contest with. Because I mean, if it is me, Evangelist Chukwu Mwanya bi Ifeanyi, the same evangelist na-aza ka Evangelist Ebuka Obi na-aza go na ewo. Yes, ekwetaram Father Mbaka is not my mate. Evangelist Ebuka Obi is your mate, and I will want you to prove to me how he is your mate. Evangelist na be na comment section abia ka onu. That one na evangelist mpia yo. Abi oye nke asemo Oga Mbaka is his mentor and his godfather. Okay, let us even agree that Father Mbaka is his mentor and his godfather. If Oka mentor and godfather nke Edo State, ka agbari na oya bezi Edo State again. Okay for her. Okay no her. If Oka governor of Edo State, si we onye mentor ye and the godfather no ya bezi Edo State again. You know her? You know what I'm Can Wike Amaechi godfather and mentor Wike? If all can Wike si way, yeah, teachers cha Amaechi and the cap couldn't be if for her. Eh? Mgbe Chris Uba Melu Ngige governor. Ha wuru godfather, wuru mentor. If all can Ngige si way couldn't be ti ha gbogbo tiri sicha if he now we are assuming no mentor and the godfather ikiwe ghọta nọ na nyanwa achọ ha o nwere another comment unu ewekwo n'iwe ode comment ya ana mfo the comment ya asanye ozugbo ọ ga respect ordained priest of God and your elders. Stop all this insult. Chimo obi ọzọ asịkwa ngo ntọ ọrụ ndo Oden ukwaga ebe ahụ efulefu. Oden ukwaga ebe ahụ efulefu. Oden wuru onwe gị. Oden wuru onwe gị. Nya yiri akwa ahụ eji wee nye ya Oden. Ọ pụọ n'ilofu dị mkpa dịka Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Nya ji egwu ya aka n'anya. Nya yiri akwa ahụ eji wee mee ya Oden. Ọ pụọ n'ilo fudi mkpa dịka Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Nya jekwu ya ebe ọ nọ. Jee gwu ya aka n'anya ma o jee kwa ya aka ma o jee nwu ya ọgụ. Because not ordained. Ka mma na ọkwọ onye respect na akwọcha. Ọ wụ ijekwu Mathias ji gbe na ordained. Mathias agba ife wụ na ordained. Chekwu Mathias ma ọ wụ ijekwu ihe ede ya ma ọ ijekwu Maazị Dibia. Iyiri akwa ọcha ijekwu ya na ordained. Ko 2x2 pịawa isi. Yeah? The only problem wụ na nwoke juru na ọya asagharịghị okwu. Ị na-agbagharị na-ewe ịtụba n'ụga tụchasịcha ụga mana nke ịtụrụ ikpeazụ wụ the highest one. The highest one. Ugo John Eze, if you need a radical Christian like Ezugo, you need a radical Christian like Ezugo, a very radical one. I've never seen all these adoration hungry bloggers ever address Mathias. I have never seen them address the Maazị Dibia na ndị otu ha. I have never seen them address them. The only person ha na address n'ụwa Evangelist Ebuka Obi and the whole Zionites. Because man I kwendo ọkaghị o bidoro before you 30 years ago. Or dominate go. Dominate zienu. My dad awụkwọ na dị odogwu wee mụọ m. Tata nwụrụzi odogwu ọjụ na ọya acha. Omowo kwechirikwa sị m ịmụkwara m ahụ na odogwu wee mụọ. Epụta na social media nọ na social media ịkọtụ onye ọwụ mechaa kpọọ onye ma afa na-ekosis kiri ife for issue threat chilatazie n'ikpeazụ I love you. Love ahụ na-edisi kwunu I love you. I love you. Afọrọ m gị n'anya. Egbe n'aka nni, egbe n'aka mma n'aka ekpe. Iwerezie obi na-asị afọrọ m gị n'anya ka ọ ya onye ahụ bịa gbagọgbagọgbagọ. Chima ọzọ akwụrụ 100 million ọ kaghị obi jee wepụta ya ka ekwuọ m. Akwụrụ 100 million. So ọ kaghị obi jee wepụta ya. Daalụ Chinyere Jo ha na-atụ Mathias na ndị otu ha egwu. The only place maka na ịgbara ịgwa Mathias 10 ọgba 100. It is only Zion suppress nwuru Mathias. Akụ Zion. Let me call Akụ Zion, no Zion, no Akụ Zion. Wa Akụ Zion nwunye suppress nwuru Mathias. Ndị ọzọ niile ewu coward. Mathias kwuo okwu ha ncha niile anakpụsi ya jezo They have even started patronizing him. Yeah? Hey, you don't self, they patronize here. Ne romance messages here. Hanya na mwaku do messages here. Woluzie ye na amato. Woluzie ye na amato. Ejizi mataya asa amato. Imagine. That is how bad it has gotten. Ejizi mataya asa na amato. Father Camillus Utimbodombo Jesus. Prove one wrong. Let posterity be the judge. Yeah? You gotta go. Ugo John Eze. Peace Worudia. Peace Worudia. Peace Worudia. Peace Worudia. It's a peace. The only peace is all. Kasi ade susu gare dey fa we fe ma rota ho. Father ye woro microphone bigo na enu order. No le ba ma akoto se mmadu. He? Onye oputazi ekwu okwu. Isi onye ha ekwu n'okwu no waiver. Iye woro kwa ti se me na jia. Ije ekwu okwu jekwa gwa onye a jekwa na comment section say Father biko ozugozienu ife atụzi too much okwu hapụ ha ye ọdụ ndị bloggers ye na aka eyi izikwa na the latest one ka ha bụrụ ihe mapụta ozugbo ha mapụtakwa ha fụkwa na akụkwa nke ahụ hands down. Ben Angel, I'm about to run mad. I'm no. Mmadụ ji microphone legal 45 minutes into the adoration program ano ị na-akọ maka Evangelist Ebuka Obi. You will problem about that. No problem about that. You were enjoying it. You na-ekwu right on. Oh yeah, akwa na n'onu unu na-eti mkpu ọ na-atụ ụnụ ma ndị na-efolo live ọ na-atụ ụnụ 45 to 50 minutes if not up to 1 hour. Mbata ha na-enwe obere program. Hey, why this guy ji wee pụtakwa again? If this guy bịara ịbịakwu sọsọ ebe ụnụ na-ama na mmadụ ahụ child of God wo na-apụta this bunk asị favor ụnụ mana Matthias rigolu n'enu it even had to take Evangelist Ebuka Obi to stop to caution Matthias from insulting Father Mbaka, and that Zion had to take a step further by stopping him to even mention that name. That was where he named him Elijah Enugu. That was how Matthias named him Elijah Enugu and named Evangelist Ebuka Obi one baby virgin. Yes, all of you, all of you, no then. When Matthias was hammering him left, right, and center, Evangelist Ebuka Obi spoke from Zion, Lagos. Obido insult Evangelist Ebuka Obi. Zion, why you so nampulamu? We say you dare not mention this name. It had to take Evangelist Ebuka Obi to publicly address Matthias, and that Zion had to take steps further to stop Matthias from calling your own spiritual father by name. Some of you even joined them to insult Zion. Alleging Evangelist Ebuka Obi about it. That is how ignorant some of you do. What was the origin of all those drama that led to the arrest of Matthias? If not because he was insulting Father Mbaka and the daddy intervened, he started insulting daddy now, alleging all manner of accusations against him. Accusation way back in. Accusation will step in. It has to take accusation to stop Matthias from mentioning that name Mbaka. He now started calling Elijah Enugu. And he now baptized Evangelist Ebuka Obi, one baby virgin. It happened before us here. It happened before us here. So say bono na enwe hawawo na onye na-eji ụka kpọ ha afa Fada Mbaka. Mana ndị ji ata akwụ nwere ihe na-esi nri aja. Una abụmọnụ na ahụ eji ebe ha nọ. Abụmọnụ ụlọ na-eme olute ebe fa nọ. Abụmọnụ ụlọ. The fact that na abụmọnụ na when you talk about one man of God, insult or you wear blessing. But insult all the other person causes a so is the theory I am still finding difficult to understand. You can insult Evangelist Ebuka Obi anyhow. Call his name anyhow. Muke dundende mado. Nepoka giant ye ha n'ime mmụọ. Nepoka okpu n'ime mmụọ ha. Nte giant. Nwan kapu doka ga na akpọ ya fa anyhow. Mana akpọzie Fada Mbaka. Ichetala anyị na-eyiwere ya akwa ọcha. Na ya suppose ịda akpọ ya fa anyhow. Chineke ya akpọwa ọkụ. So, quick one. Father Camillus, having said all this, it's now left for you to come out and address this issue. It is clear that the AG microphone when on water, we twist everything upside down. You want to go? We twist the narrative upside down, or emotional blackmail, we share, and that wafaro na one name okay, we consider when in the other way around, it was something else that happened. So go call the Mbaka ba, eju na ya Mbaka ba, onya doba, ndị Igbo na ndị Wama. You want to go? Onwe need, you want to go? We need now you dig up something to back it up. There are people who can still go ahead and do that. People are FIFA. Yes. People are FIFA. Ichumicha mwado. Chufucha mwado. Ikekwishe n'onye ahụ ya anwụ. He will now come back to come and play mind and the emotional game over something you know. And the people believe for this thing. Who says that whoop picture or whoop anything was an issue? What led to you saying that? What led to you saying that? Was it the same thing that made you not to pick up your calls? Was it the same thing that it established the communication between somebody and the Father Camillus? What was that establishment of that contact all about? What was the message that was passed to him to pass to you? Did you not receive that message? If you did not receive that message, how were you sure that when Father Camillus calls somebody claim money in Apo or Epic, that he will pick up his call? I'm asking. Yeah? And why Ojuwewo that he immediately Father Camillus called, he issued an instruction from you for somebody who has been fighting for you when you were far away in monastery? Let heaven be the judge. Let heaven be the judge. I'm going to announce the time for tomorrow's program, but I will do that tomorrow. You want to go? Come way as nene time. When time program nkechi yeji wedo. Nde adoration bloggers. Master itim pataka kunu niile wu. Ignoramus kunu niile wu. Mwiri fono ma. Nke polo onwe prince gono potako yepuono. Une husisi rubbish. Only massaging ego of a man. Massaging. Father Mbaka awonka. Father Mbaka awonka. Father Mbaka awonka. Who cares if forward to you? I care about if Evangelist Ebuka Obi to me. I have great respect for Father Mbaka. If not for anything, because he's a Catholic priest. Even if I don't go to adoration, I don't have anything to do with his ministry in adoration. At least he's a Catholic priest. But have you ever bothered to know who Evangelist Ebuka Obi is to me and what he is to millions of people scattered all over the world? Na tatogeri ono Father Mbaka awonka, Father Mbaka awonka. Ndozo okia kunuri fe ni na hi na-ekwu. The same way isi epe ni imu ife owu na mmụọ. Ka ndị na-ejikwa nke Evangelist Ebuka Obi si wee mara ife owu na mmụọ. Mana ngwa mutual respect is the key. Iya ghọta. You are trying so much to tell me what your father means to me, to you. What my own father means to me. Is your father my father? Is my father your father? It's a question you should ask yourself. Every day, put in a saying, Papa wonka, na Papa wonka. Mkuoku against your father, but here they talk about my own father. Yeah. It's not easy to become a priest. Who cares? A force will be a priest. Now it's not easy to become a priest. No matter the Jane and Father Mbaka because no a priest. Father Emeka non a parish. We have Jane and K. You know who eh? Ajolonga ajuju we say Father Emeka na Father John no na parish wu ihe ejewe na nke ha kerifi je hapu Nnewi hapu Ebonyi State ba moto biara na nke that only Reverend Father no na emene na Enugu ọ na-enweho Reverend Father no na parish wu ebe ọ no because not a priest call ebe imu ife is Father Mbaka is an ordained priest. Maka no priest ki iji esi Ebonyi State wele eje na nke if iji wele eje na nke ewu because of ife a ifu n'ime Evangelist Ebuka Obi ikekwe ifu no possess kwalo ife dị etu a o ife na-akpoje ndị mmadụ na Zion o jere there. It's not because no a priest. Yes. It's not because no we priest. And we so many priests. Han everywhere. Man no mun na yo. We priest no mun na. We na family umbo for the name. Respect them to na family. So Father Mbaka is a priest. He's an ordained priest. Noise in is because no what them priest or where. Yeah? Noise in make. How many times have you taken to educate Matthias Nando to her? Why am I for Mbaka and ordained priest? Sing the Shoma, join on open heaven for God's sake. Eh? It's time for open heaven. Join one open heaven for God's sake. We will join later. What is all this? I don't know if you brone. Not respect no man na mad who something. It's time for open heaven. Join open heaven. We will not all join at the same time. Yeah? Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. When we are to deal with a case like this, you think we should put emotions aside and let logical reasoning thrive. We can't be fighting each other while preaching the gospel. Since Mbaka sounded positive, I think we have to be patient and observe. No, he should be calling the shot now. Alpha and Omega call. Since he sounded positively, we should be calling the shot now. He should be calling the shot while other people follow. Okay? You people should stop this superiority complex on the water in all these things. Ben Angel, if you okay Belgium, okay Belgium, come kaye dewe na no paga magnet na goma he wo ife mbolo kwa isi ewu or else so go na threat nkanka threat enwe isi kono ya di kwueri onye ofu uru ro chikola anya we go na anya ka gono onye kwumi okwu onye ofu uru ro chikola anya ga wigu na anya ka touch onye kwumi okwu oya atanichom no ofu uru noise ni na ho na making us Facebook disappear immediately off flow nilo ndala. He should be calling the shot while other people follow. You people should stop that superiority complex and apply common sense, mutual respect, or nothing. Anything short of that, we cannot. Yes, he's still a priest of God. Go and tell that to Matthias now. You can't hypnotize him. He's still a priest of God, but you are not. Go and tell Matthias now that Father Mbaka is a priest and he's not. Kevin Agwaranya. Jegbe Matthias. Or Jegbe Okunwando. Second in command there. Jegbe niye no a priest go. Kevin Agwarum no a priest. We Ombafelu. My people will come back again tomorrow. You gotta go. It go mono point in tomorrow we'll start again. So Father Camillus go call the Igbo go. You gotta go. Yagwande mmadụ na our Lord spiritual n'ife okwuru yesterday na eziokwu adụrụ ya. Bịa gwafa na eziokwu nkịtị adụrụ na nyawu ife. You gotta go. Adụrụ na nyawu ife mba eziokwu. And you know, Ekuye kwa afago. Father Mbaka, go and ask him forgiveness for what? What was the crime of Evangelist Ebuka Obi that made him to issue a command that those pictures should be taken down? What was his crime? Yes. What was his crime? I am asking, can you crime here? somebody that was everywhere calling your names, somebody who's so loyal to you to the core. Is it a crime? Does it mean that because Nathan or Peter Obi down, that Peter Obi cannot go any other places? Is he not an Igbo man? Is he not an Igbo man and a statesman? If you are doing politics, does it mean that every other person, even you are even upset over something you know nothing about? Yeah? Something you don't have any information, clue to. That was why you threw away all the love and affection. A supposed son of yours have for you. You threw it away. Because na here you bend the move bend. A twist in the narrative. Anyway, point made. Tomorrow is another day. I will release the time for the program because I still have some things to share with you. What could be the reason for all those lies? As an Evangelist Ebuka Obi, the coordinator of Subjalo, he was a coordinator of Lagos branch. When? How? Where? Huh? Can you also claim that you don't know that Evangelist Ebuka Obi coordinator na adoration anytime? There was never. You know that there was never. Your first physical contact with Evangelist Ebuka Obi was in 2017, almost 9 years after 7 ministries. Yeah? By that time, Kerifeto na Zion ta adugo the first Ife Ejugo overflow Ejugo. My people, ka abani amara anyị mma, daalụ.